go. Yeah, 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 yeah. Guilted
Guilty
balls.
balls.
Woohoo! Hey,
Yeah.
everybody. We're doing 2 episodes this week. Hopefully, you tuned into our last one where we talked about bot strategy. And maybe I should say the tagline, welcome back to the Guilted Balls podcast. This is your amazing host, Ballbuster, and joining me as always, Kilted Dragon Jer.
I'm here.
That's my radio voice. So
That sounds perfect. You have a nice green shiny drink there.
yeah, so this is a little bit of a Jameson and Mountain Dew. It's the first time I've had it, and if you're one of those people right now, because I've had people say this, like you're mixing with Jameson, I mix with what I want to mix with. I'm not poor. Like
You
I don't need to mix
don't
with
need
like
you
5 o'clock vodka.
you don't need to be judged by the pores. Oh wait.
Like I
Just
like my
anyway.
Jameson. I like my
Oh, there
Jameson,
we
so
go.
that's what I use when I mix my drink is my Jameson. Because you know what a mixed drink tastes like with bad whiskey? It tastes like a bad mixed drink.
hmm
Like why would
No,
you do
I
that?
agree. It's one of those life lessons that, I think it was beneficial that we did not drink much when we were younger,
That
so
is
we
true.
didn't experience a lot of that. And then, when you're older, you tend to have more money than when you're younger. And then it's like, okay, I just want to buy, I love Don Julio Añejo. I'll drink it straight. I drink it, but if I want to mix, I'll mix it
Right,
because I
right.
love
Like
it.
I don't need to have a backup mixer. Now, people don't get me wrong, right? Like I'm not gonna mix Johnny Walker Blue, right? Like I'm not. That's just dumb,
I
right?
should have tried that. That would have been amazing, I'm sure.
Like I'm not like that's like totally different. Like that's different. But like Jameson, I like my Jameson, right?
hmm
And you know what? We don't drink like that, like a lot of people did when they were younger. Like not
hmm
us, but like how long has this bottle been sitting on my desk? I've just been slowly sipping on it, right?
hmm
So it's not like I'm drinking a bottle crazy fast, but anyway, when I want to mix it, I want to mix it and I want it to taste good. So I mix
hmm
it with something that I know is going to taste good, right? So I don't know. So if you're all judging me, judge me. And if you're like, why Mountain Dew? Like that's cancer in a bottle. My friend Dave said, does it matter which lemony lime drink that you use? And I said, doesn't it? He was like, does it? And I realized it does not.
You
So
don't think so? I'll bring you Sundrop. You'll realize there's a difference.
really,
Sundrops are awesome.
I've tried like, 7 and 7, like 7 Up,
hmm
and Sprite and Mellow Yellow. They're all good. They're
I mean,
different
my
different
gal, my
kinds.
gal loves 7 Up and cider.
Does she? I bet she loves 7 Up and cider. Uh,
Thank
that's
you, Bob and
that's
Tom, for that one.
that's never a bad joke. I heard Bob and Tom this last weekend while I was traveling, and I was like, "Oh, I miss these guys." I should say it was the Bob and Tom show. It was not Bob at all.
I
But
was gonna say one of them's gone, right?
yeah, I think it's Bob. Tom was still there. Chick was there. Christy was still there, and then they had a whole bunch of other people.
Okay.
So it was cool. Anyway, people, back to our episode because we got shit to talk about.
Oh, we do. Oh, yeah.
We do. We had so much to talk about on Tuesday. We had to do another episode today. And in that time, we had even more we needed to talk about. So Tuesday was really, really a lot about our bots and how we trade and how bots work. I don't know if that was necessarily the intention, but that's what it turned into. Today, we kind of wanted to talk a little bit about NFTs. That was
hmm
going to be part 2 of the episode on Tuesday, and we kind of just ran out of time. The first thing that I think both of us are excited about is our friends at the 8.1 are releasing Vinnie this week or
hmm
next. Vinnie is character 4. If you remember the shtick with the 8.1 is it's a love story, and every chapter they release a new character. And if you bought the first character, they just give you all the other characters. Like
hmm
it was buy one get eight, and I think people didn't realize at the time, like there were a lot of rug pulls, and people didn't know what was good or
hmm
what was bad, and so this group kind of I think fell a little bit under the radar, which
hmm
I'm not sad about. Like I really like the project and the people,
Mm-hmm.
and we have talked about them so much, so I won't get into it, but I'm excited about Vinny. He's a mouse, right?
Mm-hmm. I've only seen one picture of him, so I'm excited to see some of the others. And that I was going to say this because I've been thinking about this, and I don't know. I don't know how many new people there are. Like maybe someone saw Ruth, got introduced to the project, blah blah blah. But I was really debating on doing a package, not because I want to get rid of anything,
Hmm.
but to if someone new wants to come in to have the four in a package and doing something like that, take a little profits, yes, but also that helps the group.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
helps
no, I
the
think
because a little bit of that, I actually have no idea what their commission structure is, but some of it will go back to the developers and things like that. So, but I don't know I don't know how I'd pick who I would sell. That would be the hard part because I think I
so.
have
Yes,
four sets.
we have the hardest time, and luckily the developers at 8.1 totally get it. We have a hard time selling things we love. We love the
Mm-hmm.
8.1, so it's really hard to sell the 8.1. And we've talked about that ad nauseum. There's tons of projects where it's really hard for us to sell because we like the project.
Yes. Yes. So that's just a thought that was kind of in my head. I don't know if I'll actually do it or not, but it was something that popped into my head this week.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's awesome. Well, we'll do a reveal when the 8.1 comes out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm super excited about it. People, if you haven't checked out the 8.1, the Uncaged, you really should. It's a great group, great people, freaking great art, great
Mm-hmm.
story. It's kind of got the whole shebang. So there's
Yes.
that. I don't know necessarily what I wanted to talk about with this next thing, but I was really checking out Looks Rare the other
Mm-hmm.
day, and I don't know what I wanted to talk about with that, except I was looking at a whole bunch of projects and I almost bought into a few, and
Mm-hmm.
my looks rare tokens are still, I mean, they're still getting their interest, right? They're still
Yeah.
doing their thing. Looks is down, but I don't know. Have you heard anything about looks rare? I don't know why
What could have come across your radar? I was actually just on my looks right here. Let me see. Because I just started looking at that when before we were talking. It's still up. It looks like all the stuff is the same, but why it's been in the news lately is they were one of the coins among many, and the two closest to us would be Looks Rare and Gala. But there was a whole list of coins that Alameda Research and FTX were openly shorting or like hiddenly shorting and like playing against it. So it's possibly, and I've heard people talking, it's possibly one of the reasons we never saw blow off top because it was such a big company doing these shorts and reducing the value of a ton of different coins.
oh. So that
That's
whole
been in the news
scandal,
lately.
I think I remember seeing it. I didn't know it was those tokens, but I remember somebody saying, listen, basically they were price fixing,
Mm-hmm.
which is
Look.
something we've talked about a lot. Like I've
Mm-hmm.
said before, if you were a billionaire, I don't know if I said it
Mm-hmm.
on the episode, but you could really manipulate the market on these tokens. And
Mm-hmm.
so, like, that's what you're saying they probably were doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they were keeping them artificially low, which, yes, that's near and dear to our heart, right? Like, I got looks
Mm-hmm.
rare when it was above a dollar, and it's like, what, 10 cents? I don't know
Yeah.
what it is right now.
It's super low right now. Let me see. Or 13.86. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's low. But it's been going along with the market. That's what we've been talking about.
Hmm.
But it was suppressed in Gala. We were talking about that. Like even Gala, we were expecting more out of it.
Yes.
So um I mean, I heard an interview today on BitBoy, and it was crazy, like crazy, crazy. This company, and you can check it out. I guess they're going to do like they're going to release like the full 3 hour interview, and the guy goes in depth, but how Alameda Research because six months ago, 4 months ago, if you were a new token or whatever, you wanted to get in with Alameda Research or
Yeah.
or FTX, and they were the, kind of the gatekeepers almost. And the guy was talking about how they were making synthetic coins of theirs, how they were trying to pay them back in synthetic coins, but they weren't a new company like this is what we're going to do. They were 10 years in the business, already had all their chains up and everything,
Hmm.
and it was kicking their stuff was kicking it out. So, and then they found, like they said that they keep I think it was like they keep the price at 34 cents, and they were secretly selling, dumping them for a penny because it's coming up on their blockchain. Like, why are these being sold for that? So it's
Uh,
wild. I was talking to a friend today, and I guess SBF did an interview recently, and he was saying he doesn't understand why he's in so much trouble, because this is what happens with stocks all the time. The gist, I haven't heard the interview, but this is what my friend was saying. And it kind of I've seen that some people are trying to make him out like, oh, I didn't know what was going on and stuff like that, and I don't think that that's the case. But he does make a point, like that's what BlackRock does. That's why the AMC and GME people are so pissed off, because these companies are making synthetic stocks, trading them, messing with the prices and things like that. And that's what he was doing with these coins, which is a no-no, and it should be a no-no for other people, but there's multi-billion trillion dollar companies doing stuff like that. So I would like to watch that interview. I think it would be interesting.
yeah, I think that'll be interesting. It'd be great to hear both. Um, And the one issue I have with that is he's like, why is this a thing? Like the stock people do it all the time. Right. That's why everybody was so damn excited about GameStop and AMC screwing those people because what they're doing
Mm-hmm.
is wrong. So what you're
Yes.
basically saying is, look, those guys are killing people. Why is it bad when I kill people? Hey, buddy,
Mm-hmm.
guess what? It's bad when all of you kill people. It doesn't matter. So when
Mm-hmm.
all of
Exactly.
you are stealing millions of dollars, that's bad. And you saying, but they're stealing $1 million. It's still
Mm-hmm.
bad. It doesn't make a difference. Bad is
and
bad.
and putting companies out of business,
Yes.
like this, the guy who the one interview that on BitBoy that I heard, the guy had 700 employees. He's got 200 now. He had to fire, or 300. He had to just fire a whole bunch of people. So all those people lost jobs because of the relationship that they made with this company who said, oh, we're your business partners. If you go down, we go down. And then and what they underestimated this company, because this company, they were recording everything, they kept everything, like, and finally they were like, please just stop doing this, like just let us go, like, you're
Yeah.
killing our company. And they're like, oh no, blah blah blah. So it's kind of crazy, like they did that with a lot of companies.
That yeah, I'm gonna have to listen to that. That sounds
Yeah,
interesting.
when it comes out,
You
I'll
know
have to
me, I
tag
love
you in
that.
the.
I love that more knowledge. I think I was
Mhm,
talking about looks rare because a couple of our NFTs have said screw you to OpenSea because OpenSea has issues. People
mhm,
know that, I think, but they're the dominant player in the marketplace.
mhm,
But a few of our groups that have the ability to step away from OpenSea
mhm,
are stepping away, not necessarily by choice, but they're not like fighting to stay on OpenSea because their utility is such that it doesn't matter, right? Like
mhm.
it's kind of like CryptoPunks when they were like, "Screw you, OpenSea, we're not going on there." Right?
Yeah,
You remember
yeah.
that? Like they were like,
Mhm,
and OpenSea was like, "Well, no, you have to be. We're the biggest ones," and they're like, "We're CryptoPunks. People will
mhm,
find us no matter where we're at because we're
mhm,
the CryptoPunks." And our some of our NFTs have great utility, and we'll find them wherever. And so those people are like, let's go on Look Rare.
mhm,
And I was on Look Rare recently and looking at like the collections and like some of the collections, I was like, wait, I can. The way Looks Rare works right now is one of their bonuses is if you list your token within, I think it's like so much of the floor, and if it's one of the top 5 tokens in volume,
mhm,
they give you kickback every day you do that.
mhm,
Well, one of those tokens was sitting at like zero point zero 0.01 or zero point zero 0.04, and it was like
mhm.
number 6,
Oh
but
wow.
it was like number 6 by like 100th, and I'm like, okay, like maybe I need to get on here and buy 5 or 6 of these and maybe
Hmm.
tell people to buy 5 or 6 of these, bump it to number 5, list them all for sale, and get that that residual staking bonus.
Hmm.
I didn't, but I
Oh
looked at it. I
man.
looked at it for a while because I have the wrapped ETH in there because it's paying me wrapped ETH all the time. So that's
Oh,
still
I forgot you're
compounding.
still doing that. Nice.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm just getting my I just get the looks right now. I don't get
Yeah.
the wrapped
I
teeth.
have both, and I kind of like that, right? Like right now, I'm like, oh, look, I've got wrapped ETH there. I could actually bid on these things. Maybe I should.
Hmm.
Like it gives me that kind of ability. Whereas if it was giving me all looks, like the other half of my investment, um, there's no way in hell I'm selling my looks for 13 cents.
Hmm.
I might sell it for $1.30. So if it 10x's right now, then I might sell it, which means all the tokens I'm getting right now are in my brain worth 10 times what they're giving me.
Yeah, I
Because to me,
agree.
I'm not selling it until it's $1.30 at least,
Hmm.
maybe $2. So,
Yeah.
and and unlike our trading people, like unlike our bots or all of that, I'm a holder of Looks tokens. So if it dies, it dies, and that's the way it is, and I'll be sad. But I'm
Hmm.
a believer in the project, and I'm going to hold those. Now, if it hits $2, then
Take
I'll
some
make a
profits.
decision. Well, like
Hmm.
I might make a decision to take some of the profits. I also might be like, nope, I'm a believer. I'm going to keep it in there and let that
Hmm.
token go. But this FTX stuff does make that scary. There's a lot of people scared in the crypto space right now. A lot
Hmm.
of pundits are saying crypto is dead. This is what's going to kill it.
Perfect.
And
Good.
I'm like, that's okay. Let the price drop. Like I'm
Hmm.
constantly, unlike the way I was a year ago, this is the different growth stages.
Hmm.
Every time I look and see that ETH is down, I'm happy. And if you're like,
Hmm.
oh, well, that's because you must not own ETH. Are you kidding me? I own a ton of ETH. I'm like a
Hmm.
huge Ethereum believer, but every time it drops, I can buy more. And so that kind of makes
Yeah.
me happy. So yeah,
And
Luxor is still doing good.
that's where we're at in this, with the whole with everything.
Yeah.
We're close to the bottom. We don't know exactly where the bottom is, but now is the time to accumulate. And people getting in right now, I'm jealous. Like
Well,
like I
yep.
said before, Miles was getting in a couple months ago, and he was paying, less than half, 75% less than what I first bought in at. And I'm like, that's awesome. I'm excited for him.
Well, and here's the rule. And I heard a good friend today say this. You buy the fear, right?
Hmm.
When everybody's scared that this is the end of crypto, that's your sign to buy. So I don't remember
Hmm.
which really good friend it was who said that. He might be on a podcast with me. But
Yeah, I'm gonna
you
say I think I remember saying that earlier today.
you buy the fear. I loved that. Um, I'm thinking about making a Solana wallet. One of our people we met at VCon, Dragonforge NFT, reached out to us and said, "Hey, we've got a drop for you. We're making our own token for people, and it's a way of us to kind of start. It's a community token, right? A lot of people
Okay,
have community
nice.
tokens."
Hmm.
And he's like, "But we're doing it through Solana, and we want Kilted Balls to be part of it. Um, but I need your wallet address, and you need a Solana wallet." And so that we've talked about getting into Solana a lot. The bad part for him is Solana is one of the tokens that's getting screwed right now.
Hmm.
So I'm like, do I want a Solana wallet? I just don't know. So people, I could really use some advice here. Like, what Solana wallet to get? Should I do it? Should I just be like, nah, thanks, buddy, and kind of move on? But is it is there any danger to having the wallet?
I don't think there's any danger of having the wallet, except you'd have to put some Solana in there. So you'd have to buy some Solana, which I think is the only bad part of the whole situation.
Yeah. Well, I still have a 3L Solana token. That is like
Awesome.
so underwater, it's stupid. So
Yeah,
I
that's not
fucking
helping you at
hate
all.
Solana. Stupid Solana. Always my nemesis.
Hmm.
I wanted to make sure we talked about the Gary V podcast. You're like famous.
Yeah, I wasn't. It's funny. And it could be bots. I haven't looked into it, but I have a few new followers on Twitter,
Hmm.
and I don't. I mean, it could be from that, but I wasn't. I didn't think that anything like that would ever turn out. Like, I didn't think that people would find out about it. Not that I was trying to hide anything, but I was trying to do something, just something cool between everyone who's there, and mostly between Sheck and myself and Gary V.
Right.
But it's cool that it was released onto the thing, and I had fun. Thank you for
Yeah.
listening.
I have not listened to it. I'm excited to listen to
Oh,
it.
I thought
So,
you did.
no, I've got it up on my desktop, but I haven't listened to it. And I didn't pull it up on my phone yet. So, people, if you want to hear Kilted Dragon Jer at the Shack Gary V meetup, um, it's in the Gary V podcast. It's what's the name of that one? 18 minutes or something.
16 questions or 18 questions, something like that.
Yeah, with
But
like
it was
Shaq and Gary V.
it but it was the interview with Gary Vee and Shaq, and then all of our questions, the gift
Yeah.
goat. So it was super good episode, I think. But yeah, it was fun to
I'm
be
really
on there at
excited
the
to
end.
listen. So, people, if you get a chance, tune into that episode and you'll get to hear Kilted Dragon Jer on there. And obviously, Gary V and Shaq, that's freaking amazing. Um,
Hmm.
so, I'm having some FOMO right now.
Okay.
All right. And I'm going to give you FOMO. And
Uh-oh.
listeners, I apologize, but you're probably going to get FOMO'd too. Okay.
Uh-oh.
So, I remember hearing about this project a long time ago, and I think I might have said something in the podcast just quick, like, "Hey, by the way, I looked at this project; it was interesting," kind of a thing, like a
Hmm.
one-liner. And I don't remember if I went into any more detail than that, and I'm really sure I didn't talk about it at all. But I'm sitting here today. I had just gotten home. I had like 2 or 3 meetings at the end of the day, and I had another meeting coming up, and I forget like the chain of events, but basically I like opened my Twitter and I saw that Daz, who we really like Daz's 3D artwork, we're part of his non-fungible people. We were one of the first
Hmm.
buyers from that. Because All In for NFT, the other
Hmm.
podcast that we've been interviewed on. So maybe give them a shout or give them a listen. All In for NFT. Um, they turned us on to him and we kind of liked it and we got in on that, right?
Hmm.
So I don't know if I like my non-fungible person, but I like being part of the Daz 3D, right?
Yeah. I love my person.
Yeah.
That would be my alter ego.
Nice.
Well,
Mine
like if in a different world.
mine makes me feel like, and I don't mean this derogatory, but like a lesbian grandma, right?
Yeah.
And that's not quite who I identify my personality with, and so it always makes me feel weird. Like every time I look at it, I'm like, like I think that person would be
Hmm.
cool to have coffee with or tea
Hmm.
and hang out with, but I'm always like that's not my feels. Does that make sense?
Hmm.
Right? It's not like Ruth who like was all my feels. So
Yes.
anyway, I see he's hosting a space and it started like 5 minutes ago, right? And so I had like 20 minutes before my next thing, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna click on this space while I'm like getting changed and getting ready and stuff and kind of like wasting time. So I click it on and start listening. And it had kind of just started and they were saying stuff and I'm like what are they saying? I'm like, and I was like seriously riveted because they do good stuff and
Really.
I'm not part of that community, right? I'm
Hmm.
not even a lurker. I'm just too busy, but
Yeah.
I'm like, they're saying good stuff and I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys are always so amazing over there. And I'm like listening more and more about the drop they're about to do.
Hmm.
And I'm like, this sounds familiar to me. And it sounds even awesomer than I remember. And so
Hmm.
I go down and I Google them, find the drop, start reading about it, looking at it. And I'm like 5 minutes in reading, I'm like, oh, I remember this. I remember this. And then I'm getting more and more excited listening to what they're talking about. And I'll fill you all in. I'm not going to leave you in suspense
Okay.
too much longer.
Okay.
But I look at it all and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is kind of cool. And I'm like looking at it, and then I found, and this is the big one for you, Kilted. So the drop is tomorrow, and they're allowing their allow list to do the pre-sale, I want to say at 2 p.m. Okay.
Hmm.
And then the public sale is at 4 p.m. And I was like, man, I probably missed all of this. And I'm like reading it, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not part of any of these groups. I'm not part of any
Hmm.
of these partnerships they did. And I was like, that's sad. We have a lot of NFTs. I thought I'd be on one.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and because we're one of their original non fungible people, I thought you'd think that would be in there.
Hmm.
And then I remembered nobody says non fungible people but this dumbass. They all call them NFPs.
Um,
NFPs is one of the groups on the allow list.
really? That's awesome.
So
So
we can buy it. All
what
right.
is the new thing?
So this project, and you all can check this out, and maybe we'll tag it
Hmm.
in our tweet or put it in the comments, is Fight Back Apes. Okay. It's being released on Coinbase NFT, Fight Back Apes. Did you guys all catch
Are
that?
you looking through your Coinbase app, or is it
I just Googled Fight Back Apes and it popped up. And then I took it to the Mint site, which is Coinbase NFT,
okay.
right? So that's how far I got. So here's the deal with it. And people, if you've stayed with us this long, I've got some huge ass alpha for you. Okay, so we've got some alpha. You should know by now that early on, a year and a half ago, I FOMO'd pretty easily. But in the last year, I haven't FOMO'd, right? I've like
Hmm.
sworn that off. So I'm not buying into that. But I'm huge FOMO here. And here's the why. You ready, Kilted?
Hmm.
Do you want the history of Fight Back Apes, or do you want why this is going to be awesome?
Both.
Okay.
Because Jamie's not on yet, so we
Yeah.
still have lots
So
of
here's the
time.
deal. So Fight Back Apes came from Evolved Apes. I almost bought into the Evolved Apes project. It was one I almost FOMO'd in on that I thought would
Hmm.
be super cool. Some of you may have heard of Evolved Apes. Do you remember Evolved Apes, Kilted?
It sounds vaguely
It
familiar.
sounds familiar. One of the biggest rug pulls ever.
Okay.
That's why it's familiar to you. Everybody knew Evolved Apes because it was a huge ass rug pull. And I remember when I didn't pull the trigger because I thought it was super cool because it was about like saving the apes and all the money went to all this cool stuff if I
Oh, okay.
remember. And I was like,
Hmm.
yeah, I'm gonna do this. And then I was like, I had a feeling, right? And I kind of trust my feelings, and I was being lazy. And I'm like, maybe I'll
Hmm.
buy it later. And then the rug got pulled. So basically, they minted everything right away. It was in that golden time, and
Yeah,
they ran away with the money. Literally, rug pulled them. Okay,
that's crazy.
and so what happened from there, and I almost bought some Evolved Apes afterwards, and that's why I remember saying it on the podcast. They came through and they said, we're going to make a project called Fight Back Apes to help all of these people who got rug pulled, basically.
Okay.
So that's the deal with it. And Nat and 3D, Naz was going to do the Fight Back Apes with other artists to help them do this, right? Like he took it on kind of. Do you follow that logic? So he's like,
I
I'm
do
going to
follow
take
that
this on
logic.
and I'm going to do this and we're going to help this group out and we're going to like make this awesome thing. Does that make sense?
Yep. I'm scanning my Coinbase wallet while you're talking.
Yeah. So here's the crazy ass shit about this project. So that's the history. So they've been planning this drop for a long time. I almost bought the evolved apes because they were like, if for every evolved ape you have, you can buy a fight back ape or something like this. This was months
Hmm.
ago. And I remember thinking, yeah, I'm not, I said this on air before, I'm not a freaking GoFundMe anymore. Right? Like I'm
Yeah.
not,
Yep.
I'm gonna do things that make sense to me or art that I like. I'm not gonna be somebody's GoFundMe. So I was gonna buy it and then I'm like, no, fuck it, I'm not a GoFundMe.
Yeah.
And so you're like, well, wait, why are you talking about it right now? Well, here's the deal. First off, if I remember right, if you get these fight back apes, and maybe there's a few other hoops, you get the software, the 3D type art software stuff that they've made with all the add-ons that go with it. So they've made the software free, but they also added all of these attachments, add-ons to it
Really?
to help people create in the freaking space, to help you make awesome 3D things in the space. So that's first. Like you're getting all of that stuff. Now, whether that's with Fight Back Apes or one of the other
Hmm.
things, like I'm not paying a lot of attention. I was just too freaking excited, right?
Yeah.
Here, this isn't going to sound cool to people, but I'm going to make it sound cool in about a minute. If you buy 5 Fight Back Apes, Kilted, you ready?
5 Fight Back Apes.
You are then whitelisted for all the rest of the projects that Daz 3D does.
Wow, that's awesome.
So you get first crack if you have 5 of the fighting apes for all the rest of the projects. And some of you are like, listen, bro, I've never even heard of this guy. Why would I care that I'm whitelisted for his project? Because he's doing the fucking Game of Thrones NFT.
No way.
You're going to be whitelisted for the Game of Thrones NFTs.
That is awesome.
How can you not FOMO that? Right?
So, I guess I'm trying to find it here. Here, just a second. I gotta. Um, so do we have to move our NF non-fungible people into our wallets?
Oh my gosh, I hope not because I think they did the snapshot just like recently. I mean, I would buy them in the public sale
Yeah. Do
too.
you know how
I don't
much
care.
they are? Have you seen that?
Yeah, so I joined their Discord today. Well, I
Okay.
mean, I'm already on the Discord. Shouldn't say I joined it. I went and looked at it
Yeah.
today because I was like, wait a second, is this something I want to be part of? And
Mm-hmm.
so I jumped into their Discord. I've got to find it right on my list.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it not? There it is. Okay. And so I think they keep changing the prices,
Mm-hmm.
but if I'm reading this right, dun, da, 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 mint price is 0.08.
0.08. Okay. That's yeah, that's a fiver for sure.
Yeah, like why wouldn't you? Now wait, it's probably a 6er or 7er, right?
So you can actually sell them later.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Remember I said I was talking about buying an evolved ape before because they said you were going to get one of these fighting apes, like,
Mm-hmm.
for each one you have. So they're going to be giving all the evolved apes one. They're one of their partners is a company, and I don't know if any of you have heard of it, right? But it's a company called Atari. Like
I
that's
think I
that's
might
one
have
of their.
heard of them
You might
before.
have
Let
heard of
me see.
Atari, and they're part of the pre-sale. So people who have the Atari pre-sale token, yeah, one of their partners, just throwing that out there. So those people in Evolved Apes get one of these, okay?
Wow.
And that leaves 4.5 thousand available for public sale.
Okay. So I was gonna say how many are there? So there's not that many, is there?
There are not that many.
That
So
is
I'm like,
awesome.
I'm for sure buying 5. Like I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
make sure there's ETH in the wallet, maybe do 6 or 7, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that's where I'm at, right? So I'm
That's super
totally,
awesome. What a great catch. Just like out of the blue, like, oh, wait a second.
and when stuff like that happens, I always think the universe is like freaking talking to me.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well, that's
so,
how we found out about non. I don't remember how you found about non-fungible miners, but somehow we did. And
yeah,
yes,
right? And sometimes those things you find out about them and you're like, yeah, we gotta hit that.
yeah,
So,
that's super awesome. So 3 o'clock tomorrow, I'm seeing on here. So I'll have to get some ETH into my
yeah. And I'll buy them in the
Coinbase wallet.
public or try to buy them in the public, but I would hope
Mm-hmm.
to be able to um, rock and roll with the allow list, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what? I'll chat it right now, and that way people can know if you guys have NFPs too.
Yeah. Yeah, because um yeah, no one says NFP, only you.
Dun, dun, dun. I'm trying to make sure I ask this in a not bad way. I apologize if the question's been asked, but did my NFP have to be in my Coinbase wallet for the allow list?
Yeah, it's a
All
good
right,
question.
click. And I should check on here and make sure. Oh, shoot. That's not what I meant to click. There we go. Boop. I was trying to see what roles. Okay, I'm part of the community. I don't know what that means. Boop.
Hmm.
Like, I don't like to connect my wallet randomly.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I have one NFT in my Coinbase wallet, so I was fine with that. Because I put one over there just to see how it worked. And I do remember it took forever to get there. I actually thought it didn't work and my NFT was lost forever, but apparently not.
no. One, like, I don't have anything in my, I don't, I've never even done the Coinbase wallet for NFTs. So,
Okay, you never set it up.
I don't think I did. So, we'll find out. But yeah, so anyway, I'm excited about this drop. It's the first time I've been excited about NFTs, maybe since the 8.1, right? It's been a long
Yeah.
time. Or non-fungible
Oh,
miners,
Jamie's out.
those kind of excited me. So this is
Hmm.
the first time I've been excited one, so I'm checking it out. Listeners, if you hear this before tomorrow, there's a little bit of alpha for you. I have not seen them publish that Fiverr thing.
Okay.
Like maybe it's out there, and because I'm not part of that group, but I
Hmm.
saw it, heard it in the Twitter space, and was like, oh, that's probably worth it, right?
Yeah, for
Like
sure.
you're teaming up with Warner Brothers, you're teaming up with
That's not
Atari, and
in the
like
3D Game of Thrones.
I'm
That's
like, and you've got all
crazy.
of these like partners, like, and I'm going to be on the allow list from now on.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
think that's probably worth point four ETH.
And you have to join the community too, I guess. Who am I going to get rid of? Although the Manikees are dead, right?
I haven't been on there. I think they play that one game a lot, but I haven't been
Oh,
on there
okay.
a lot.
I haven't been
So
on here forever.
anyway, we should
All right.
probably end the episode.
Mm-hmm.
So people, thank you so much. We'll let you know how the Fight Back Apes and non-fungibles go and keep you informed. But we're we're kind of excited. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll be
Super
talking to
excited.
you later. And this is Ballbuster signing off.
Got the Dragon Jair. Love you all.